It has been a week or 2 weeks of DC content, let me tell you, especially when it comes to James Gunn and things that he has been saying and things that he has been revealing. And I tell you what, this one right here, I think gets me more and more excited about the DCU and what's to come. And yet there are so many people who sit there and say it just gets them more confused. And I don't really understand why. He's made things relatively clear, and I guess, because we don't know all the fine details, why you might think that it's a little confusing. But here's the kicker. We're not supposed to know all the fine details in 2024. Not when the DCU is not technically ready to kick off until Superman releases in 2025. Yes, Creature Commandos comes out later this year, but that technically isn't the official start of the DCU. While yes, it is in the DCU, Superman is really the one that is kicking off the grander universe of the DCU. So why am I talking about this? What is the big deal? What is really confusing everybody? Well, just recently, James Gunn has talked about Peacemaker, and we know that Peacemaker Season 2, which I'm sure that is all going to be adjusted. I honestly would not be surprised if it is renamed to something else, which would be a smart move on James Gunn's part if they called it something other than Peacemaker. But as of right now, Peacemaker Season 2 is going to be canon to the DCU, which confuses some people, or was confusing some people, because Season 1 of Peacemaker was within the DCEU, which was the old universe, which is now done, finished, gone. And it's confused people. And as you see, people talk to him over on threads. You have this Mustafa Sassad, I can't say the name. Won't it be confusing having a Season 2 of a different universe? Why not just have it be a new show? And James Gunn says, because it's my favorite thing to do. It's the biggest original Max show ever. He's talking about Peacemaker. It was his favorite thing to do. He loved making Peacemaker. It was his favorite thing that he's done. And he says, I have a way in. It won't be confusing. That right there ends the debate. That right there ends any confusion that people should have when it comes to Peacemaker Season 1, Peacemaker Season 2. I mean, I don't understand. I get that people want to cause drama, cause confusion, cause so much controversy surrounding the DCU, but there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be. He's confirming that, yes, Peacemaker won't be confusing because he has a way in. And if you are somebody who's sitting there who has some confusion still, Bridging to Geekdoms, back from the dead, just today post this really simple way to understand what these really first four projects really mean for the DCU. Superman starts the DCU. Superman is really the thing that is the catalyst that really brings the DCU to the forefront. It starts this new universe. Creature Commandos, which again does release this year, later this year, takes place within the DCU. When, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the time period does take place years before Superman does, but it does take place within the DCU. Peacemaker Season 2 fits in the DCU, as James Gunn says. He has a way in which makes sense and makes Season 1 non-canon. Pretty simple. He has a way in. Season 1 is non-canon. Season 2 is canon to the DCU. And Waller, which will be about Amanda Waller, will most likely be part of Peacemaker Season 2 fitting into the DCU, meaning it's going to be because Waller fits into Peacemaker, was in Peacemaker, she's a big part of who Peacemaker, that character is, at least in James Gunn's iteration. Her fitting into the DCU probably just falls in line with how Peacemaker is going to fall in line with the DCU. I think at that point, we all, as DC fans, need to sit back and just say, you know what, James Gunn? It sounds like you have a plan. It sounds like you know what you're doing, that you have an idea what's going on here. Let's see what you do. Let's see how this all plays out. Because honestly, we don't know what you're going to be doing, buddy. But it sounds like you have a plan. I can't wait to see what you do with Superman. Peacemaker Season 1 was great. Unfortunate that Season 1's no longer canon, but hey, the fact that you're bringing back all these hilarious characters, and look, I wasn't a fan of how you portrayed Vigilante. I like the more serious take of Vigilante, but I can get past that because everything else was hilarious in that show. Let's see what you do with it. Let's see how you're able to build this universe, James Gunn. Not to mention that reports are coming out that Peacemaker Season 2 will be shooting simultaneously with Superman. And James Gunn apparently will not be directing the episodes of Peacemaker Season 2, which is very interesting. You know, a lot of people who want to sit there and say that he is, you know, a control freak and he has to have his hands in everything. Well, there you go. He's relinquishing control of so much. He understands what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's really trying to do his best here to give us something that's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to it. As a fan of DC, I have hope that he's going to do something great. I think Superman's going to be a lot of fun. I believe he has the tools that can do it. I have belief that the entire DCU, at least this first chapter, is going to be tons of fun. But what do you think? Are you confused? I think this explains it pretty damn well. I think this is pretty simplistic right here and exactly what he's talking about. Look, James Gunn loves to hear himself talk, and sometimes he talks more than he should. But he said it simplistically. Season 1 is non-canon. Season 2 is canon. Superman starts the DCU. What more do you want? The rest of the DCU is not canon. The DCEU is not canon. DCU, what he said, this is right here. This is simplistic. This is what he said. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts, your ideas, all that, your feelings on everything. Throw them in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell for more from me, Slav's Free Talk. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.